Good afternoon. My name is Tommy Lashley, and today we'll be talking about Zachman's framework. The topics we'll explore today will be the overview, the scope, business model, system model, technology model, and the enterprise. Now let's take a look at the overview. The framework as it applies to the enterprise is simply a logical structure for classifying and organizing the descriptive representations of an enterprise that are significant to the management of the enterprise as well as the development of the enterprise system. It uses a grid model based around 6 basic questions: what, how, where, who, when, and why, as asked of 5 nominated stakeholder groups: the planner, organizer, designer, builder, and subcontractor, to give a holistic view of the enterprise which is being modeled. This framework enables senior business managers and IT professionals to understand the implications of key business and IT strategies that must be established for turbulent times. The framework is helpful for sorting out very complex technology and methodology choices and issues that are significant both to general management and to technology management. It is derived from comparable structures that are found in older disciplines of architecture/construction and engineering/manufacturing that classify and organize the discipline artifacts created over the process of designing and producing complex physical products, i.e. buildings or airplanes. Zachman framework has become the de facto standard for enterprise architecture for aligning the business goals with information technology investment. The principles. By defining clear architectural design principles, Zachman ensures that any tailored or extended implementation will be equally well built as long as the designer and builder continue to follow the rules. The major principles that guide the application of Zachman's framework include: a complete system can be modeled by depicting answers to the questions why, who, what, how, where, and when. The 6 perspectives capture all the critical models required for system development. The constraints for each perspective are respective of those lower rows and added to those of the rows above to provide a growing number of restrictions. The columns represent different abstractions in an effort to reduce the complexity of any single model that is built. The columns have no order. The model in each column must be unique. Each row represents a unique perspective. Each cell is unique. The inherent logic is recursive. Zachman's framework is a simple concept with powerful implications. By understanding any particular aspect of a system at any point in the development, system designers construct a tool that can be very useful in making decisions about changes or extensions. The framework contains 6 rows and 6 columns, yielding 36 unique cells or aspects. This can be seen in the framework design. The rows are separated as follows. Row 1, scope, corresponds to an executive summary for the planner who wants to estimate the size, cost, and functionality of the system. Building model, row 2, shows all the business entities and processes and how they interact. System model, row 3, used by a system analyst who must determine the data elements and the software function that represents the business model. Technology model, row 4. Consider the constraints of tools, technology, and materials. Components, row 5, represents individual independent modules that can be allocated to contractors for implementation. Working system, row 6, depicts the operational system. The columns are separated as follows. Who represents the people relationships within the enterprise. The design of the enterprise organization has to do with the allocation of the work and the structure of the authority and responsibility. The vertical dimensions represents delegations of authority, and the horizontal represents the assignments of responsibility. When represents time, or the event relationship that establish performance criteria and the quantitative levels for enterprise resources. This is useful for designing the master schedule. The processing architecture controls architecture and time devices. Y describes the motivation of the enterprise. This reveals the enterprise goals and objectives, business plan, knowledge, architecture, and knowledge design. What describes the entities involved in each perspective of the enterprise. Example includes business objects, system data, relational tables, or field definitions. How shows the function within each perspective. Example includes business process, software application function, computer hardware function, and large control loop. Where shows the locations and the interconnection within the enterprise. This includes major business geographical locations, separate sections within a logistics network, allocations of system nodes, or even memory addresses within the system. In summary, it is easy to understand, no technical, purely logical. It is the most elemental form, in its most elemental form. It is 3 perspectives: owner, designer, builder, and 3 abstractions: material, functions, and geometry. Anybody, technical or non-technical, can understand it. It addresses the enterprise in its entirety. Any issues can be mapped against it to understand where they fit within the context of the enterprise as a whole. It helps you think about complex concepts and communicate them precisely with few non-technical words. It helps you make better choices, as you are never making choices in a vacuum. You can position issues in the context of the enterprise and see a total range of alternatives. It enables you to work with abstractions to simplify, to isolate simple variables without losing sense of the complexities of the enterprise as a whole. Today we have talked about Zachman's framework. We have looked at some of the issues within the framework, looked at the overview, the scope, and several of the other issues. This concludes my briefing. Thank you.